Hey guys, welcome to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're going back to 2009 and taking a look at one of the pioneers of deathcore, modern deathcore, and that's Suicide Silence and their album, No Time to Bleed.
Alright, No Time to Bleed is an album we're both familiar with. We're both good fans of this album. Really good sounding. We're really excited to review it for you guys today.
Yep.
So we're going to go and we're going to
listen to it all.
listen to all of it.
We've already heard it a million times.
We've heard it a million times.
But we're going to have a nice fresh listen from beginning to end, so we're fresh on it, and then we're going to come back and give our review.
Okay, see you guys in a bit.
Hey guys, welcome back. We just listened to No Time to Bleed, and I'm going to pass it off to Mr. TV Fish, and you can let these guys know and let me know what you think of this album.
Alright, I thought this album was sick. This album had so much energy behind it, behind so many of the songs. Oh, one of my favorites off the bat, Wake Up. Now, this song is actually how I got into this band. You suggested it to me. I think I said something about a mirror, and you said the lyric, "Don't look in the mirror," and told me about the song. I went and checked it out, blew my socks off. I'm like, fuck, man.
Socks everywhere.
Socks all over my room. This song is amazing. I love how hard it goes, just, and especially with the first track, busts down the wall. Just doesn't even set anything up, just boom, right in your face.
Yeah.
The only issue I had with that song is that there's a point, I think after the first verse, where there's a blast beat that kicks in, and then it goes with that for a little bit, and then abruptly stops, and then goes back to what the song was earlier. So I found that was kind of out of place, like, oh, this is this now, oh, and then it stopped, and then that's it. Never mentioned again.
Weird, odd transition.
Yeah.
I mean, no transition at all.
No transition, it just stops, and then boom, goes back to the earlier groove. But still, that's a sick song. I loved it. If I were to jump to I know I'm kind of jumping around, but talk about my least favorite, might have been Something Invisible. It was really hard to find a least favorite, because even the songs that I weren't blown away by, I still enjoyed. I felt this album, even though some songs, kind of like Something Invisible, was a little bit overly straightforward, I felt like there was nothing about it that jumped out at me, but it was still enjoyable to listen to. Like, I still had fun listening to it. So I feel that, and any other song that might get a little bit stale, still has a really good effect. Like, it's still a great sounding song.
Yep.
So this album is really consistent in that regard.
Oh yeah.
It's just what was I say? One small thing about that song I thought was cool is that there were some guitar embellishments that jumped in before his solo actually started. So I felt like it was a cool kind of sign, like, all right, like something's about to happen.
Yep.
Which was nice. There was Your Creations, which was, oh my god,
that's a sick song.
The energy in that song,
that's a sick song,
so strong. And it's weird because there were some songs in the album, like I already mentioned with Something Invisible, that felt a little bit stale. This one just hits harder. I don't even, it's hard to explain. It just,
songs like that make up for the little bit of lacklusterness of other songs.
Absolutely. Like I said, even with the ones that are lackluster, they already are great songs.
Yeah.
So that just jumps it all the way up. It was mean sounding. I really loved the use of bass in it, where it was just quiet with the bass sounding.
Oh, the bass
I love when it's done in music.
Yeah.
And I love how it was not overdone. This was the only song where that happens.
Yep.
So it makes it feel unique for that song, and it's also just a great thing to listen to. There's also an instrumental track called And Then She Bled.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk about this one?
Sure.
All right, talk about And Then She Bled.
All right, well, for those of you that don't know, he just mentioned it's an instrumental, but there is some dialogue in this track. So basically, I think it's genius, personally, what they did.
Same.
But they took a 911 call, a real 911 call, and they made that as the backing track, and they just basically played instruments over top of it. Now, it's not just any ordinary 911 call. It's actually a pretty brutal incident that happened, real-life story, and you guys can even find the actual 911 call online. It's up there. But basically, it was a scenario where this lady had a pet chimp, and she had her friend over one day, and the chimp for lack of a better term, went ape shit and fucking attacked her friend and started mauling her friend and literally ripped this lady's face off. The lady survived.
I think her hands were also fucked up too.
She was probably pretty mangled.
Just
like chimps are strong. Like monkeys are strong creatures, right? And it mauled this lady, and her friend's on the phone with 911 saying, you know, please come here, bring guns, shoot this monkey. My chimp's killing my friend. My chimp's killing my friend. And that's what the whole song is. And you just listen to this brutal attack going on in the background in this 911 call while they're playing this. It's like heavy and just
eerie,
atmospheric, brutal music over top of it.
Perfectly put over this 911 call.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just fucking badass. When it came on, I hear it, and it's just, the atmosphere is perfect. Yeah.
It's eerie, creepy, brutal, and it's also hard at the same time. It's just, ugh.
And then,
perfect.
When I first heard the song, I thought it was just, you know, some fake shit going on in the background, like they just recorded for this track. And then I happened to hear the actual 911 call for the chimp attack, and I went, hey, wait a second, I've heard this before. And I start doing this, put my thinking cap on. I'm like, holy shit, that's the 911 call from And Then She Bled. And I was like, I was blown away at that point. Like, I can't believe they actually put a real 911 call in there. I don't know any other band that's ever done anything like that. You hear instrumental songs all the time. This one is just a notch above the rest. For that reason alone. Just the fact that they put that 911 call in the background and just added that element of brutality to it. Very, very nice touch.
Incredible. What did you think of the rest of the album?
The rest of the album, man, I love this album, okay? And it could have been a toss-up. We could have reviewed this, or we could have reviewed The Cleansing. Both of those albums are dear to my heart. I like them both equally. A lot of people have preferences. I like both those albums equally. But I like this one. It doesn't make sense. I like this one a little more after saying I like them equally. I feel like that the band is a little more advanced as musicians on this album. A little more precise, a little more schooled. I don't know. They just sound a little better to me. Maybe it's the way the record was produced. There's different producers on this compared to The Cleansing, things like that. But I just think this album hits really hard. I like every song. As you mentioned, there's a couple songs that are a little bit less energy, but they still have a lot of energy. But I just love Mitch's voice. Mitch was one of the best vocalists in the genre, in my opinion. His screams are untouchable. His growls are so fucking good. Suicide Silence writes very simple lyrics, but they're meaningful lyrics. A lot of their lyrics are about defying God and things like that, like the song Suffer, which I kind of ruined because I hear them saying slipper, and it sounds like slipper to me, and I can't unhear that now.
When he told me, it completely ruined the song. Like, I started hearing it, it's like, fuck.
It just takes away from the brutality of the song, because the song's about, like, defying God. Like, God is not real. If you believe in God, then you're gonna find out that He's not real when you're suffering. If something happens in your life and you're suffering, you're gonna look up and you're gonna say, please help me, and nobody's gonna help you. Now, I know a lot of people believe in God, and that's fine, you know, but their lyrics just kind of defy the existence of God, and I guess maybe relate to that in a certain way. But I don't know, I really like it. Another thing about this album, and Suicide Silence in general, is that I get a lot of Slipknot vibes when I listen to these guys. A lot of people are going to disagree, but honestly, it's not about the way the songs sound. It's not about the overall band itself, but it's just the tones of certain instruments, the certain samples they use in certain songs. The drum tones on this album remind me a lot of self-titled Slipknot. A lot. It's just the tone of the drums. Not necessarily the style or the beats he's playing, but the tone of the drums. Same with the guitar. In many songs, I hear Mick Thompson's guitar on this album. I can just hear it. I don't know what it is, but it's just the certain tones he's using or the certain riffs he's playing. It's bringing me back to Slipknot, and I keep getting, that sounds like Slipknot, that sounds like Slipknot, that sounds like Slipknot. I would bet, without looking it up, I would bet that Suicide Silence has Slipknot as an influence.
Probably.
I would say they do. Right?
Most likely.
Probably safe to say. But yeah, I think this is just a fucking solid album. It's brutal. It's heavy. It's pretty short and sweet. It's a little less than 40 minutes, but all the songs hit. They've got diversity. No two songs sound the same. I really like this album, and I'll pass it off to you so you can give your review. So let's hear what you say about this. What do you give it?
All right, this album I thought was sick. Way back when I listened to it at first, I'm like, all right, this is okay. And then the more I checked it out, I'm like, wait a minute, this album is actually fucking great. And before, we reviewed it today, before we, did our listening session, I listened to it a little bit on my own, and I'm like, fuck, man, this album is great. So
slays.
And even after listening to it today, I have to give this album my toe tag. This album is fucking great. I love the energy it brings to the table. What do you rate this album?
Pretty much same. I'm just gonna say it gets my toe tag. I love this album. There was a reason why I nominated it to review it. We picked a bunch of albums to review, and this is the one that came out on top. So yeah, it's gonna get 2 toe tags. It's gonna be added to the list.
Third album on our channel.
I think we're probably gonna get hate for this because a lot of people shit on Suicide Silence. I don't know exactly why, but I think these guys pioneered modern day deathcore. They did. They really did.
True.
There's I guess an older, the original deathcore, if you want to call it, where you got maybe Morbid Angel. That's more like death metal. I don't really know. But deathcore, that subgenre, to my knowledge, kind of started back in around 2006, 2007 when Suicide Silence was making the scene, right? And they kind of broke out, and then all of a sudden all these other bands, deathcore bands, started coming out, and none of them, in my opinion, have come close to sounding like Suicide Silence. Not that they should sound like Suicide Silence, but they've never reached that level of brutality and that level of just get you in there and get you fucking grinding, and I don't know. Nobody's done it, man. Suicide Silence is a highly underrated band, highly disrespected band. Rest in peace, Mitch Lucker, one of the best metal vocalists of our time. That's just my opinion. So you can eat a dick if you don't like it. But that's it for this video. So 2 toe tags for No Time to Bleed. That's fucking awesome. So be sure to comment below, let us know what you guys think of Suicide Silence and this album. If you like it better than The Cleansing, probably not. If anybody Suicide Silence fans are always like, The Cleansing's the best album, yeah. I don't deny that. The Cleansing's fucking awesome too. But this is our opinion. So yeah, that's it. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe later.